But there's two types of traders. There's strategy traders and there's systems traders, okay? And you can actually be a little bit of both. You don't have to be so rigid in your thought process that you have to change everything you're doing to change your methods. You can take your methods now and or your technique, your strategy, whatever you want to call it, and adapt a system to it, okay, which will help you better understand your profit and losses, when your profits appear, when your losses appear, and how your system can be modeled around a better P&L at the end of every week, at the end of every month, okay? So a strategy trader is really, entry can be based on several criteria, and a strategy can have numerous techniques. For example, a gap up, right? A breakout on a day chart, a breakout on a 60-minute, a 30-minute range breakout. I don't care what your strategy is. Strategy traders have your criteria, and they have different techniques to enter the criteria, okay? They basically strategize. In other words, when would you make the trade? What is the thought process that steps you through, whether you're actually thinking of it systematically in your mind, or you just throw stuff against the wall and hope it works? Or is it the stock of the day? Is it the stock twit of the day? Are you an Apple trader and that's all you trade? Well, there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm going to show you how you can potentially develop what you do as a strategy trader when you make the trade and turn it into a system. So strategize. Hey, I trade the gaps. I'm just giving you an example. I'm not saying this is what I do. Maybe patterns. You trade head and shoulders. Retracements. After a big move up after 3 weeks and it pulls back into support, you buy it. Moving average and moving average crossovers. Let's say you buy every stock that's 5% from a 52-week high. It's above the 50-day, it's above the 20-day, and its 20-day crosses above another moving average or a certain percent above that price. You enter the trade. That is a strategy, right? Whether that works or not is anybody's guess. We're not here to evaluate whether that works. We're here to define the differences. So a system trader creates the model on a strategy to run as a set system, taking the techniques of a strategy, okay, the techniques of entry of a strategy, and I'll define that in a second, and makes a system out of it by stepping through rules. Now you can do this putting on paper as part of a plan, right? So we're going to boost your trading plan by writing down some very simple notes on how to really get rid of the noise, okay? Get rid of the noise. So creating a system out of your strategy eliminates different criteria for entry, okay? It makes your entry criteria the same every single time. So creating a system and creating the model and a strategy to run as a set system, data is not analyzed on the fly, right? It's built upon a strategy criteria. Okay, so your strategy might be trading the gaps, okay? So let's give an example here. If a stock gaps up 4% or gaps down 4%, you're a buyer on the gap down, you're a seller short on the gap up. Let's just say that's your criteria for a trade. That's your strategy, okay? So you might have different techniques of entering that strategy based on that stock. Maybe it's to wait 5 minutes, maybe it's to wait 15 minutes, maybe it's to wait until your first 15-minute red bar, maybe it's to wait until you hit resistance, maybe you have pivot points set up. See what I'm saying? Different techniques on a core gap strategy, for an example. So a system trader would set up one method every single time on a system of stocks or a series of stocks and not take the trade unless that actually triggers. A strategy trader will adjust his technique to fit the current scenario so he gets into the trade. Is there a good point or a bad point? I don't think there is, unless you have serious problems with your emotions, okay, and your discipline, which always catches somebody, and your share size is exaggerated in certain times, and in other times it's not. In other words, your P&L is radically changing on a daily basis. If your P&L is radically changing on a daily basis, you need to convert your strategy to a system, even if it's the most basic type of scenario where you write down your rules as really step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. You put that sucker in front of you on a piece of paper, because you might not have the software that I have, and you follow it along every single day on the stocks that you want to trade, okay? And that in itself is a system.